Let me do this and
Oh
then.
shit. Let me hold on. Actually, yeah. Let me double check with the old folks. Make sure they don't need nothing else because they know I'm supposed to be unreachable.
Unreachable. Oh, let me get my sound bar up because I definitely be using
Oh
like my
yeah.
sound bar from time to time.
Hell yeah. But yeah, let me go make sure they straight down, need nothing else, and then I'll be right back. If you gonna start it up, I'll pop right back. I'll just pop in like
I'll wait for you to come
here
back, bro. Not pretty if you pop back
5 hours.
in. You know me. What up, chat? It's your boy Zone. We're gonna, like always, we started this new trend of trying to do these Sunday podcasts that I'm recording on my Twitch now and YouTube and Kick and whatever you guys find me. That's where I'm recording my podcast live on Sundays as much as I can. Of course, next month is gonna be a little different because I have a trip going on, so I might cut one a little sooner, or I just won't cut one that week. But I think I probably will cut one earlier, just the way you guys still have an episode on Sunday. It just won't be recorded live for you guys because, gotta live my life, But today we're gonna be doing an interview. I have my lovely aunt who has stopped by and graced us with her presence today. We're gonna be chopping up with her and her business venture. So I hope you guys stay tuned for that. And I hope that she sticks around to chime in on some of our topics. I think our topics are gonna be fun today. We're doing something a little different. As always, we're gonna have that interview process going, but we are definitely throwing in a new session coming from Thad, the conspiracy theory session. You guys know we got my job session, we got the weird fact session, we got my book club session. No, we got to do the conspiracy theory because my boy Thad loves his conspiracies. And, I'm not gonna lie, I do too. I just don't talk about them as much, but they're definitely there. But we're gonna roll into this in a minute. We're gonna see if some more people pull up. You guys know the routine. If you guys want to chime into the conversation, just type in the chat. And you guys are more than happy to chime in. You'll still be to hear it and feel like you're, kind of a part of the show, the pod, right? You're a part of it, but you're not a part because I'm going to be reading what you're saying and we'll be answering those questions. Mind you, we probably won't answer all your questions, but we're going to get to majority of your questions. And I think that's a win in my book. So we're going to wait on Thad for a minute here. How's the weather out there? My aunt right now, she's currently in Chicago, Illinois, the state I'm from. Originally, that is where she is. She is living in her best life. Right now, yeah. She did inform me though she probably popping in and out because she got her grandbabies with her. Grandbabies come first. So she is going to do her best to try to stay tuned as long as possible. But if the grandkids call, she will be running. There's nothing we can do about that because those babies come first. And we gotta respect that, right? Just like when I'm streaming, daddy duties, I have to step away. Same thing for grandma duties.
I hear you. Yeah, but it's about 76 out here. It's really comfortable.
Yeah, it was super hot out here the other day. I had heat exhaustion, and you know how I get with heat.
Yeah.
I definitely had some heat exhaustion.
We had all that kind of weather all last week. So yeah, this week was much better.
And we have Mr. Leith pulling in the stream chat. He's tuning in. We're gonna be starting in a minute. We're just waiting on Thad, and then we're gonna roll out the pod like we always do. So we're not in a rush per se. So we're fine. And why do I feel like my camera's off? It is. It's not. I'm not centered like I used to be. Someone touch my screen. I think the kids are in here messing with my stuff. When you see that your system's a little messed up, and you start to wonder who was touching it. Yeah, my old man. Huh?
I said it's always a possibility.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Rivers, you joining my podcast today, bro?
Oh, this is the podcast.
Yeah, I'm gonna be recording. I got my aunt in here. She's gonna tell about her little business that she got going on. And it's been a minute. You ain't pulled up. You just come in, have a conversation with us, bro.
I
You
got
always, we always have good conversations. So pull up, bro. Stick
the
around.
the radio in the background, so
They did,
That's
in
fine.
fact,
It's
actually.
a podcast,
what up,
bro.
JP?
It's fine. It's chill format.
Yeah. JP done popped in. Let's go.
You know, if it gets too bad, you can, just mute yourself and see you on the PlayStation. You know how we do, bro. Dang. Don't act like this is new to you.
hey man, I'm not trying to get you reported.
Hey, like I said, this is my podcast. I mean, although I am streaming it live, so I get it. But, I can fix that other stuff later. But welcome to Chill with Zone and Company. I'm your host, Zone, and today we have my boy
Yeah.
Slim, Thad, or
What up?
how y'all know him as No Eagle on his streaming platforms.
Well, fuck my name up every episode. Every episode.
You know I'm dyslexic, bro. You know I'm gonna mess it up. We got our boy Mr. Rivers popping in. He might not stay. He's testing the waters, and we respect that. But today we have, like I said earlier, we have a special treat. We got my aunt coming in from Chicago. She's gonna be telling us about her business ventures and what she's doing, and we're gonna promote her like we always do everybody. So let's get this party started. Today we have Lady T with us. If you don't know, Lady
Hi,
T,
everybody. Everyone in the chat.
you guys can find her on YouTube, by the way. It is, what is your handle? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Me? Yeah,
Yes.
Lady T got the T, and it's TEA with an exclamation mark at the end.
And there's some numbers. I want to say it's 5885, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it exactly is. Yeah.
But like always, at the end of the podcast, when you guys are done listening, you guys go scroll down just a little bit further. You guys gonna have that, that hyperlink there to click on and go to her channel, and show some love and support. And
Definitely would be appreciated.
so, as always, Lady T is. You consider yourself a baker? Is that what it? Right?
I
A baker or a cook?
baker.
Huh?
I went to school for both. My passion is baking, but I'm all self-taught. Basically, I did go and do culinary art school back in the day. Actually, two different schools, and then I took a Scalpier baking school online. Say like I want to say 2020.
2020.
Yeah, and just spruced up on things that I already knew but wanted to be more professional about. So, yeah. And then it's just a passion, a pastime for me, a comfort zone. So I just love the baking, and that's my go-to thing.
It's crazy. I grew up knowing this lady my whole life, literally because she's my aunt. And I didn't realize that she was very passionate about baking and cooking until she started her YouTube channel. How long have you really, since you were little, you've always loved baking
Since
and
I was
cooking?
11. Yeah, since
See?
I was 11.
I learned something new about my
Where I
aunt
could
every time.
actually go in the kitchen and make my own cake out of like a recipe book or something. I was 11. Yep.
Okay.
And by the time I even got out of grade school, I was selling cakes to some of my friends' moms and stuff like cheesecakes and red velvet cakes and stuff. And yeah, I used to, on the side of babysitting, that's what I would do in between because I really love to bake, was bake goods and stuff. And then for Christmas, I start giving them out as gifts, cookies and things like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
snap.
She's been
And
doing
then,
this for a minute. What'd you say?
Uh-oh.
Lady T?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And
She muted herself.
what happens, kids on deck, you always gotta, have the good snacks on deck that that's cheaper. You can make at home. It's a little bit more healthier and stuff. So yeah.
Pie and talk about it was a cake. You trying to say she made a pie and she's saying it was a cake? We have viewers in the chat trying to say they disagree with what you're saying.
What did I say?
My dad said he said pie and talk about it was a cake. I guess you made a pie and said it was a cake.
I have no clue what he's talking about.
I don't think he knows what he's talking about half the time. But we digress.
Maybe he's talking about cheesecake because that's still technically cheesecake. I don't know.
No, I
The only
remember
thing
you
he
used to
ever
make
eats
some.
is
I remember
German
you made some
sausage.
really good cheesecakes back in the day. I remember you used to make those
Yeah,
the little tiny cup ones or
the,
whatever. Oh, I used to love
yeah,
those.
the mini
Dang.
ones. Yeah,
Yeah, the little mini ones. So,
yeah.
when did you feel inspired to I guess turn your passion into content and also a business venture? Like what really was that moment you're like, you know what? I should make this a thing. Let me make some money for this. What was that
Um,
triggering point that led you
I
to that?
want to say like around 2018. So, all by this point, I had been doing it just for family members and in the house and everything like that. I had always had Facebook, but I never really posted anything like that as far as professionally, content on a content level. Somewhere around 2018 is when I was like, I started noticing a lot more people showing what they did, on their social medias and stuff. And a lot of people had asked me for years, but I just was like, I just do what I do. I never really, post or anything like that. So that was one of the reasons that inspired me to do the YouTube. Also, with my kids being grown and I get my grandkids, yearly throughout the year, I still needed something to do. Um, and my passion, and since I'm making cakes and things like that anyway, I figured I would start, documenting and recording and posting. And that's how I kind of went into the YouTube thing. So, and really, I don't expect too much out of social media because it's really about me just showing what I can do. I really don't expect very much back from it. You know what I'm saying? Like for me to go viral on a cake or something, that's not what I really put it out there for. If it helps the next person with a recipe or something like that, or it's easier, or my technique is easier, then that's what I'm saying. Gives me more passion out of posting and stuff like that because I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm definitely
Exactly.
gonna bake, create. I'm gonna do that. I'm a real creative type person. So
Okay. Okay. And these cakes. Now, I know you said you do these because you're passionate, but I'm assuming you also like take orders too to make some
yes,
money too. Yeah.
definitely, yeah,
How does
yeah.
that
I
look for
That's
you?
why I will feature more of like custom cakes, like birthday cakes, theme cakes, and things like that because I'm really good at it. I work really good with fondant, chocolates also. So yeah, I
Yeah,
figured
if I'm not
why
mistaken, you
not?
made a
You
cake for my
know,
daughter one year for her birthday using Fonda. It was like a Barbie
yeah.
cake, if I'm not
The
mistaken. That
Barbie
was,
cake. Yeah,
yeah, I remember that. My oldest
yeah,
daughter. Yeah, I remember
yeah.
that.
And then Crystal's son had the Mickey Mouse. I think that one like right behind there too. But yeah, that's what I started, like with the kids and stuff, and my kids and you guys and stuff like that with making cakes or regular cakes or designs because you got time to do it in the house. So I started there, but then somewhere along the lines as I got older, like why not I have the time and people are constantly asking for the cakes and cupcakes. And so I've done weddings, people's weddings, receptions and stuff like that. I just need to, I think, venture out a little bit more. I would definitely love to have my own brick and mortar. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's kind of more ideas of many goals to get to that point is where I'm kind of at now.
Your a side note, your brother said, yeah, you went from making mud pies in the backyard to trying to make cakes, trying to crack some jokes on you.
Him with the memory. No, that is true. That is so very true. I made mud pies in the back because like I was like I literally remember this, and I couldn't have been no more than 3. I had a little stove and a refrigerator, but I didn't have food, so I had the pans and everything. I would go pick grass in the back. That was my greens, and then I would make mud pies. I didn't try to feed them to anybody. That just a disclaimer. I never tried to feed a mud pie to anyone.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's how it started off. So I guess you
I'm-
could say she had a love for baking even at a younger age. You could go ahead and say that.
I like it. I like it. So,
So
s-
with
go ahead. Go
my
ahead. Go,
bad,
bro.
bro.
Go ahead, bro.
With this being your passion, your business. What are some of the struggles that you come across while in the process of creating this
I
venture
tell
for
you,
yourself?
tell you, he's a mind reader. Exactly what I was about
My
to ask you.
probably my biggest struggle is putting myself out there.
Mm.
Advertising myself, my products, and what I do more. I'm a bit on the shy side. So like I felt like the doing social media would help me a little bit of getting out of my shy stage, which it has,
Mm-hmm.
somewhat. But I would like to do more events, pop-up shops and things like that, more so to get me into mingling with a lot more people that would give me, or inspire me different ideas or different ways to go with, trying to expand. Because I would like to go online also, and sell online and shipping. And I've researched a lot of that. It's a big deal because of food safety and things like
Mm-hmm.
that. So, but I definitely would love to go into that field also. So,
Oh, yeah, I get it. I get it. So,
And so,
would you say that it's this being, like I said, your passion? Is this something that you might recommend to other people, male, female, in between?
oh yeah,
It doesn't matter.
definitely. Baking has no gender to it. Like people, if you love to cook or bake and you love to create, then yeah, I would say give it a try because um it it's like a yin yang for me, a zen. You know what I'm saying? It'll like I could be frustrated and I can go in there and create something in the kitchen and it gives me a whole nother vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like it's thinking out the box because it's just food. You know what I'm saying? Like you can try different things or bake different things different ways from other people and start something new. But if you are a creative person and you like have patience, because it does take a lot of patience with baking. It's a lot of science to baking also, but if you get into it and that's what you want to, you're really into that, I think a lot of people would enjoy it, especially with all the new techniques and things that they have out here now and tools and stuff. A lot of people like kids can learn how to bake, and I mean do extravagant things with decorations and stuff if that's what they want to do. It just depends on your heart and your passion.
exactly.
Okay.
And I, I,
Okay.
I,
Yeah.
I I feel like that is so true because I go to the gym for the same reasons sometimes. But I can honestly say though, when I'm in the kitchen by myself and I'm just 90% left on to cook, I'm in my little happy
Mhm.
place. Like I enjoy cooking. And for what you were saying about kids, like having that passion. Yeah, there are a lot of kids out there super talented. I don't know if you ever saw what was
Yeah,
those shows they have on Netflix or the Network where they have like kids
yeah,
that are like
yeah,
9 and 10. They're out there baking, chopping and stuff. Like, yo,
yeah,
like you are so talented at such a young
yeah.
age.
And
Man.
that's what is so cool now because they have platforms and things like that for kids. Like when I was 11 doing it, I was just doing it in the house and, a friend or two and their mom, would know about it. So these days are so much cooler for any person or even a child that would want to get into that type of business. Yeah. And, the social media definitely helps out, with getting it out there so quicker.
And I think
But
also what dictates that is how you're raised though. Um, because I feel like if you're raised with being encouraged like to cook and try certain things, and not just judged by trying it inspires you and makes you want to keep learning or keep trying to do it. Um,
yeah,
and I think that's probably a big factor for some people, especially for little kids, because there are a lot of parents who won't let their kids touch anything remotely close to cooking because oh you might hurt yourself burn. They won't learn unless they make a mistake. That to me, if you're not making a mistake doing something, you're not truly learning anything. You have to make a mistake in order to learn. And
yeah,
if
yeah,
you
you're
can't say I
absolutely
learned
right.
something without making any mistakes.
Right. And with me mostly having boys and they're all grown, none of my kids, unless it's one of those holiday theme items, they don't really call me because they already know it. Like Travis has been cooking my son since he was 13 years old. And that's, one of the oldest. We was one of the first ones that wanted to get in the kitchen. And, now
Obviously.
he really enjoys cooking. My son
I
Sean,
love my
he really wants
cousins.
to be a chef. Like, so yeah, they definitely they learn more on the food side. But the bacon treats, they still will ask me to do all that because nobody can do it like mom. You know how that goes.
So
Hey.
so confession time, funny story. I can tell you my little cousin, he's my little cousin. He might be bigger than me, but he's my little cousin. I remember confession time when we were little, we lived in this one house and I tried this thing with butter and bread. And you toast your bread, and you put butter on after. Well, I at night would butter my bread and pop it in the toaster because I was like, this is easier. It comes out better. And we did that, and we would do that like almost every other night. And one night, I was like, it didn't feel right with me. I didn't think we should do it. And my little cousin Travis, he was like, come on, let's do it. Don't be scared. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm not going to do it. And he went and did it and got in trouble. And I played sleep to the fullest. And I know he snitched up. He's like, I wasn't alone. I'm playing sleep. I didn't do anything. But I think they all knew he didn't learn how to do that by himself. He definitely had an accomplice.
Man, he just left him under the bus. I'm out.
It's like if you have like the spider senses. You're like, something's gonna go wrong. So you let them know, like, hey, we shouldn't do it tonight. Cause like we were doing it every night. Like, no shit. We would wake up every other night and we would do this. And I know people would notice because we were messing up the toaster because we're literally melting butter inside the toaster trying to do it. So one night I was like, man, I feel like we shouldn't do this. I feel like something's gonna go wrong. Cause I was doing it by myself at first. Like he wasn't doing it at all. He saw me do it and then he tagged on and trying to do it. And I feel like if I tell you, hey, let's not do it tonight. Let's wait a night. Let's hold off. You not do it. He wanted to do it. He got caught.
But
Sometimes you gotta
what
listen to
child
the
you
other
were talking
person.
to. You couldn't tell him no not to go in the kitchen in the middle of the night.
I know.
Oh man.
He was gonna do it.
Yeah. Man, that was.
Yeah, I think the last time I tried to bake something myself though was, man, I think I had just graduated high school.
I love
And
bacon.
I failed at making them brownies like horrendously.
I'm actually pretty good.
Everything was burnt.
What'd you do? Just leave them in too long?
I think
Probably.
so. I think so because it was
Or you
no
probably
moisture.
add enough milk whips.
All crumbles. It just crumbled to pieces.
Yeah.
That was it.
So
Yeah,
another
the
funny
brownies,
story.
you take them out a little, like maybe 2-3 minutes before they're actually done, because they when they cool off, they firm up. They'll get harder quicker. So just
Mm,
like a chocolate chip cookie, you will leave it a little softer because it's gonna when it cools, it's gonna firm up. So if you
right.
cook it all the way, it's gonna firm up even harder and crispier.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way that time. I was like, I don't think this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I didn't try it again.
I
I
didn't
should have.
burn up no hot. What hot dogs did I burn up? I don't remember burning up any hot dogs when I was little.
Hot dogs though. Oh man, bro, that hit
I remember burning something, but it wasn't no freaking hot dogs. I'll tell you that.
No, it was a set of paper towels. I remember the paper towels. And you stood there clapping, and I was like,
You don't give a kid matches to throw away and expect them not be amazed by fire.
Yeah.
Set the kitchen on fire. What do you expect? I wasn't completely bad when I was little, but I wasn't an angel either.
No,
So I
you
know I
know.
was bad, but I was also a quiet bad kid. Okay.
Yeah, no, you weren't like that. Like some stuff, like you said, you would know and be like, no, I don't want to do that. You just knew, like, no, that's gonna be trouble later on. No, you
So
weren't that kid.
auntie, I gotta tell you this. All right.
Mhm.
So my little one, the littlest one, Jaden. All right.
Mhm.
Remember the stories y'all used to tell me that when I was growing up, when I was about his age, yeah, I'd come over to you guys' house and I asked for chicken. If I didn't have chicken, I'd throw a temper tantrum. And grandma would go out, get the chicken, make sure I had my chicken.
Mhm.
Right? And my little one, Jaden, he's all about chicken. He wakes up for morning. breakfast nuggets, chicken nuggets. I'm sitting there like, if my grandma was alive, she would be sitting here chuckling right now because you're asking for nothing but chicken. The chicken is the only thing you want at the time.
Oh man.
I was like,
That's
he
so
is
cool.
definitely my kid.
Yeah, that's the cool part about it. It'd be those little things that you notice in your kids that you know is absolutely from you. Like, yeah.
Mm.
Oh man.
So you would say you would recommend this then, your business method for
Yeah.
cooking and learning. You would recommend this for the youth or for anybody who's trying to?
Yeah, definitely. If you because like I said, it still takes their science, math, and patience all in baking. But once you get all that, that's just the basics. The rest of it is your creativity going mostly into it, whether it's recipes or the design of the cake or whatever, it's more of creativity. The other stuff is like, just a little math or the basics. It's
Yeah.
not hard. It's the creativity and your heart into it, because like I said, anybody could do it. It really
My,
just takes wanting. It's just like having that job, like that cool job that you actually like doing. That's what baking is for me. Like I can make a job out of it, but I actually love doing it anyway. So I'm gonna,
That's dope.
it doesn't come off as work. So that's why it took a long time for me to start recording it because I never thought of it like that. Like record this and put it up for who's gonna watch this, who's gonna do this. Till I started seeing, like, yeah, a lot of people do. So
Yeah, especially when you hold knowledge that either other people weren't able to learn from, a parent or a parental figure, or just in general. You're
yeah,
something that a lot of people would love to get insight on as well. And then not to mention, I'm sure you have a presence that makes people want to gravitate towards you as well.
yeah,
exactly.
that's
Yeah.
true.
And like I said, I've always loved it since I was a kid. So I think it was more so just a part of me because there was multiple things, that I love doing. Like even on my channel too, I throw up a lot of DIYs. I'm just a real creative person. But if
Oh, you
you
do
ask me
DIYs, not just cooking. Y'all hear that? She
yeah,
says she
yeah, I
does
do,
DIYs, so
yeah,
you can find her baking and cooking and DIYs as well.
yeah,
Yeah,
So
yeah,
she's not just your
said the
one-stop
wrong
cook. Yeah,
you almost said the wrong thing.
I did.
yeah.
I had to catch
I don't know if it's like the
myself.
Nope.
Pisces in me, but I kind of touch bases with a lot of things. I remember a lot of people describe me as a jack of all trades. Hey,
Yeah,
That's what's
I
up.
don't know.
That's beautiful.
being a jack of all trades is good. Most people don't understand know like the whole thing of the jack of trades. As they say, the jack of all trades, but a master of none. But it goes a lot further than just being a jack of all trades and a master of none. It's a deeper thing that most people completely don't know. What
Basically,
is he
Yeah,
saying? Let's see.
I believe it's jack of all trades and a master of none is better than a is somewhat better than a master of one, or something like
Yeah,
that.
something like that.
yeah, yeah. Got a
It
little bit of
make a lot of
everything
sense.
in you.
Especially, yeah, you might not be, you may not have this particular specialization in this one particular area, or this
Oh,
Mhm.
completely solidified, but then you have, hey, I have all these other things that I can use and utilize.
so I'm hearing that I wasn't the only one that set the kitchen on fire. Um, my
Oh,
dad has
that with
typed in to the excuse me, to the chat saying that
Mhm.
you also set the kitchen on fire too. Yeah,
Are you sure that's your father? Because who?
yeah,
Well,
yeah,
not
yeah,
me,
yeah,
definitely.
yeah. He
I
said
know,
she
I
said the
know. Our
kitchen.
other
She said,
brother did, Larry,
oh,
but not me.
maybe he has the facts mixed up.
I was gonna say, you sure that's him? That ain't somebody catfishing because he got all the information wrong.
oh man, said
Nah,
nah,
I ain't.
nah,
He
you
joking.
ain't
Yeah, he
talking
trying
about
to be
me.
funny because no, I ain't burnt down nothing. That our other
I mean,
brother Larry
I
did.
didn't burn it down. It just caught on fire. Y'all put it out eventually.
No,
Yeah.
I ain't even had that. I done had an
Nah,
oven smoke on it. No, I
I
never had
also
that happen.
yeah no. Let me see. Um,
get mad because I'm giving up the tea, the real tea. Yo, you're popping the drip. Nah,
The
he's funny.
dirt. Oh man.
Oh man.
So
He takes what?
with you doing this, what would be your take from all the stuff that you learned? Like, what would be the if you had someone came to you, and was like they saw what you were doing, and they're like, "Hey, I see that you're baking, you're doing your DIYs, cooking. I wanna do something similar." What would be like the advice you would give them, or would you have any advice for them per se?
Yeah, just okay, so like it's a lot of moving parts to it if you're going to like make a business out of it. If it's just for fun and then, I want to do this on the weekends type thing and make a little extra money. Yeah, I could give you a whole lot of tips, but as far as the business aspect of it, because I haven't fully gotten all the way into it, I don't know all the moving parts to that. So I really couldn't say on that. But like if you're just trying to do a hustle or whatever, or you just enjoy it and you want to know more tips and things like that. Like on my channel, I still have I do like I show you how to make buttercream, different recipes, some of my own personal recipes I'll be posting sometime this week. Um things like that, or different ways you could get around if you're on a budget with, say, like we do the edible images and stuff too, cakes.
Mm,
And
okay.
I usually do those on like a edible paper, like it's called like an edible paper, edible ink and stuff, edible sheet. So it's a sugar sheet, so it's all sugar and you can eat it. But if you need to get around there, I show you where you can take cardstock, which is excuse me, which is kind of thin, and you can put rice paper on the back of it and still place it on your cake, and it's food safe. And as long as your customer knows, and that they're agreeing to that, to placing that on there like that, you just peel it right off like you would do a topper or anything, before you cut your cake, and it's way cheaper.
Hmm.
So,
Hmm.
because it costs a lot to make the edible sheets and things like that. Because you need a machine for it. So people, they charge for it, all the inks and stuff like that, and then you get pictures that have a lot of different colors and things like that. It could get pricey for one sheet. Sugar flowers and things like that. I suggest people learn the technique and make them in their house and freeze them themselves, because you can buy them bulk at cake shops, cake suppliers, and things like that. But you're literally going to pay $20 to $25 for one rose petal, like one little rose to go on
Damn.
there. So
I'd be
you
making
could
that
make your
myself.
own. Yeah, you can make it yourself. It's a couple of little techniques to making roses and sugar roses and stuff. It's quite easy because you're still using buttercream. You're just freezing them. And all you would have to do is have enough room. Like I have a refrigerator on the back porch now that's strictly for my cake items and things like that. Because it got too hectic with the one refrigerator and trying to do cakes and things and store.
Yeah.
And so as long as you got the room to make it, I would suggest doing, when you're doing stuff like that, to do it daily. Today I'm going to make sugar roses and the whole technique for that, and freeze them and store them because they last for months, literally months. You can, so I would suggest they have an app, like they have these certain apps where you can map out everything on your phone and stuff, of basically cake goals, how much you would like pricing your products and things like that to help you out too. So I use tools like that also.
Yeah, my aunt's out
Wow.
there telling people help is on the way here. She's out there. She's letting them know. She
Yeah,
got
because
you.
I had to do that for myself, because once upon a time I would just give you a cake. If you asked me for a cake, I did, and I was spending money for the materials, real materials, my time, and the budget and everything. So I had to make myself like get into these apps where I'm figuring out what I'm spending on products and
Yeah,
things
especially if
like
you come out
that.
of pocket
And
for it.
yeah, yeah.
It's gonna be
So
very costly after a while.
yeah,
Your
because
brother.
after you make the cake, you don't know how to price the cake, but those apps like that help you to pricing on, how to figuring out how to price your product.
That was actually my next
It's really good.
question was, how do you judge or base the price of your cakes? Are you basing it on the materials that you're using, or do you have like
Yes.
a set price for, a
No.
certain type of cake?
Mainly if it's custom cakes, I'll go with custom cakes. I set by the ingredients, like what
Okay.
I'm using actually, and then there's a basically like me making the cake fee. If this
Okay.
needs to be delivered, that's in there. You know what I'm saying? If you ask for special toppers or fillings and things like that, all that is figured in. If it's say like you want like a German chocolate cake, a straight lemon cake or something like that, just regular 3-layer cakes or whatever, and it's not a custom birthday design or anything like that, those would be regular set prices because I already know what I use for my materials and it's basically the same, it's just a different flavor.
Mm.
So
Yeah, your brother just said you learned all the big secrets from him, jack of all trades, the real jack of all trades. And he said you just made him a German chocolate cake recently.
that's all he ever asked for is German chocolate cake. He never wants anything else but that or in cupcake form.
Man,
So-
don't
Better
let my
slow
father
down
hear
before you
that.
turn into a cake. I have a
I'm about to be the first
I
one.
think he has gotten the cheesecakes from me, but mostly for his birthdays, all he ever wants is German chocolate cake. And they're good, but I'm usually like I'm a cake and filling girl. Like I gotta have some type of filling, a Biscoff cake, and
I gotta make you one of my cakes, Auntie. I make a tres leche cake, the 3 milk. Oh, you probably not like the 3 milk cake. Yeah, I
Yeah.
I make those really good. I like to cook and bake. I think I got into baking or cooking in middle school. Like I dabbled with it, I think, growing up a little bit here and there, experimenting. But I don't think I truly started liking it until middle school when I had to take that culinary arts class at Ellis Middle School, and I learned how to cook. I mean, they taught us how to sew. So yes, I do know how to sew. I actually sew pretty damn good. I patch up my kids' clothes all the time if I need to, or even my gym clothes. If I get a little hole underneath my arm, I'm sewing that bitch up because why
Yeah,
throw it away?
feel
And I can still fit it. Just need to be stitched up a little bit, you know. But I definitely, as I gotten older, I enjoy cooking. I enjoy baking. I take tons of photos and put them up in the Discord. Like if you go to my Discord thing, I have a section where I just take pictures of the food I'm making. And I do ones with the photos of the outside of how when I take scenery photos I do, because I do photography stuff too. But I will never forget 2 instances. So my oldest daughter, right, Cora, she tried to make her grandmother used to make these Texas sheet cake, and it's really good. It's like a fudge. It's kind of like a German chocolate type thing too, but it's good. It's very different. It's very hard to explain it, but it's good. And I remember her trying to make it and Magda trying to help her make it, and they're like, and they were asking me for like my opinion, and I'm looking at what they were doing, and I'm looking like, why is this batter like so bright? Like, what's wrong with it? And they're like, something's wrong. It doesn't taste right. And I'm like, all right, let's see what you did. And the ingredients said, sugar, salt, all of this stuff. And I'm looking, and they're like, yeah, we get 2 cups of salt. And they keep going. I'm sitting there thinking in my head,
Wait,
2
what?
fucking cups of salt. Yeah. Wait, what? I'm
not eating
sitting
that
there.
shit.
I'm like, wait,
not eating
what?
it.
I look at the recipe. I'm like, y'all use salt? It asks for sugar. Like 2 cups of salt.
Right.
You need sugar. And they're like, oh. I'm like, oh God. So then they remade it and it was right. I'm like, see, you see the difference in the batter? Like how the batter looks all brown and nice looking with the sugar. And this other one looks all orange with the salt. It's like, we're not eating that shit.
I hope they didn't eat it in because you could pass out from that.
Oh,
Yeah.
and then Magda recently she started this thing baking cookies. Like she'd make some good cookies. I give it to her. She made good cookies. But she had gotten to this thing where she was making cookies, and her first time making cookies, because she's not a baker. Give her credit. She tried, but she's not a baker. Now she does it good. But her first time making cookies, she's like, I don't have enough flour. I'm like, what do you mean you have enough flour? The recipe asks for 11 cups of flour. And I'm like, wait, what? How many cookies are you making? And I'm like,
Yeah.
it's asking for a cup and a half of flour. I was like, 11 cups.
Wow.
I was
You
like,
gotta make sure
there's
you
gonna be
go
some
on.
tough ass cookies.
You gotta make sure that you watch over every time that she's about to bake something, dog.
But
If she
after
reading it
that,
like
after that, she's never made any more issues with the cookies. It threw me.
man.
I was like, I looked at her, I'm like, I said, I got one that wants to add too much salt, one that wants to put too much flour. And I will never let them live it down. Every time they say they're going to bake, I just kind of look at them like, you got enough flour? You got enough salt? Like, I don't think I will ever let them live that down. But for me is by far the funniest. But yeah. So
Yeah.
you answered all those questions. I don't have any more.
Yeah, I said I when when you sent them to me, I was like, I just read them, but I don't have to study. Like I said, everything is pretty much open with me.
I
I'm
mean,
older and past that.
I think every interview, even when I did interviews when I was in high school, when I was in the newspaper, I feel like every interview should be relaxed. It should not feel like it's pressured. It should be simple because if you ask basic questions, it normally sparks more questions and more information you can get from somebody from the basic question from an interview. And that's something I learned a long time ago. And I had someone who like did interviews for a long time, and I ran it with them, and they were like, "Yo, those are solid questions." And those are like the basic questions I use for everybody because those open up conversations, other directions that keep it going, and it keeps everybody relaxed. No one's feeling pressure. You don't feel like you're on the edge, like you have to watch what you have to say. I don't care about any of that. Just be yourself, relax, have fun. Because in my opinion, the most relaxing podcast and chat you can ever do is just being yourself, being natural, being authentic. I think being authentic gets you more viewers and listeners than being super flashy. Like being super flashy, yeah, you're gonna people turn their eyes and look at you for a minute. That's gonna fade. That will fade once they realize that, oh, that's all that is. They're not gonna care no more. But if you're like just true, authentic, just yourself, down to earth, and they vibe with it, you will always have people come back to you. And your brother said, Chef Bardi, that's all you know how to cook. It's raviolis. I know you are not talking about me. All I know how to cook. All right. So we're gonna go there. All right. I remember one year I was supposed to come up for Thanksgiving. All right. And I said I would do all the cooking, just get all the stuff.
Yeah.
And now I love my aunt because how my grandma raised, they do all the cooking. The guys go do what they gotta do, and they handle stuff in the kitchen. But I like to cook because down here holidays I do all the cooking. When my grandma was still alive and my grandpa was alive, they'd come to my house for holidays. I do the cooking because relax, kick back. I don't cook for people often for the rest of the family, so there's not often I get to cook for the family. But when I do, I take a lot of pride in cooking because I enjoy cooking, and I think I'm pretty good at cooking. Like my grandma loved all the stuff I made, the mac and cheese I made, the homemade mac and cheese, my turkeys, all that stuff. Like I did great with all that. And I went to my dad's house for the holidays. He was like, "Oh yeah." I tell him I'm gonna do all the cooking. Then I was told I wasn't gonna do the cooking. And I'm not gonna do the cooking. I'm just gonna be told to hang out. And then I didn't get to cook. I was so disappointed because I wanted to cook.
No, I know I had talked to you. I don't know if he told you that. I don't know why.
No, it was Crystal. Crystal told me I wasn't going to cook because y'all were going to do all the cooking. And then she didn't even show up. I was so disappointed. I was like,
she didn't even come.
I know.
But she might have came, but I know I did most of the cooking.
But we're talking about cooking, though. My dad cooking, they don't even compare to my cooking. He might be able to do like some chili or some spaghetti, but we're gonna throw dish to dish in the kitchen. You're not touching me. I'm sorry. You may think you are, but you're not. I can send you some photos, and I could tell you. Like I know you don't eat fish or lobster, but I used to throw some lobster's tail down, and Grandma loved it. My grandma loved my lobster tail. You can say, I see you say it in the chat. Oh, she didn't want to hurt my feelings. When she's asking for seconds and thirds and leftovers to take home, She's not doing it to hurt my feelings. She's doing it because she loves it. I even made her egg custard
Yeah.
pie that she absolutely loved. Like her recipe,
snap.
I knew that. I made it.
But no, while my brother over there talking, I never ate none of his food. I am not trusting. But where he come to
Oh,
get all his
dang.
plates from?
He gonna
over
tell me
here,
put my money where my mouth is. I can put $1,000 and I can cook better than you, and you will lose that, sir.
Oh, man.
yeah, my brother, he cook too fast. His food too fast. I don't trust him.
Ah, see, your old sister when you
It be like 10 whole minutes. He be talking some, I'm done to be at the table eating. No, I'm not going. No.
I'm
You're
not
not
going.
with me, sir. And it be pork chops and stuff like that. I'm not gonna do it.
ain't never offered.
And if he ever attempt to bake something, I know I ain't messing with that. No. Son, I think you trying to nope.
She's
She's
trying to
going
get
in on
you
you. She's going in on you.
Dang.
You trying to bake me a sweet potato pie? Oh no. What you want?
Oh man. Look, she done got you. She got you.
I mean, I can cook. I can't help if I cook and you don't eat the food because you're not used to eating healthy foods. I'm gonna put that out there.
No,
if you're
no,
not
I
eating,
can eat your food.
no,
I'm
not
talking
you.
about
I'm
you. I'm
talking
brother's
to my old
food.
man that who's listening. Because I remember I made you a healthy dish and I had to fight you to eat a healthy dish because you didn't want to eat it. It was oatmeal and eggs, and I made it really good. And I had to fight you to
alright.
eat it. You ate it.
I'm sorry.
I
didn't.
Hey,
You
now,
said
if you would've
oatmeal
gave
and
that
eggs?
together to my
Yeah,
kid,
you
don't
can make
talk
a really good
about
oatmeal and
that
eggs
in.
dish. You can make a
I don't
really
think
good.
I ever put those two together. I'm not
There-
gonna
It's good. It's good. And if you do it right, it come out fire. And I like my eggs a little runny, so it was a little runny, little yolk in there with it. But man, bon appetit. I make some good dishes. I love creating dishes. I look at a recipe. Every recipe I use to cook, I change it. I never use the exact same recipe because sometimes I don't like what some people put in their ingredients or the recipe. So I always change it up to my needs, which I feel like every cook should be doing that. You shouldn't follow someone's recipe
Yeah.
to the T unless you're
Yeah.
trying to get that exact same taste. I feel like you
Right,
should
if you
always
like
make your
it.
recipe your own. You should
Exactly.
make it your own, so that way you don't have to rely on that particular recipe. You just change it up a little bit, and voila.
Yep.
That's just
anytime
me,
I
though.
tried to make anything, I don't think I've ever written down a thing about it. Like, and it's very, very slim times, very few times that your boy has actually attempted to get in the kitchen and throw down. Uh, last time I made anything was a ham, and that was
Mm.
7+ years ago.
No,
Yeah,
I love to cook.
I gotta get back into it.
I will always cook if I get the chance. I mean, so here's so I cook. When I cook, I clean while I cook. I know some people don't do it, but I learned this from my grandma, and I also learned this from in school when I took a cooking class. You clean while you cook, so there's not much of a mess left over. If I can't clean while I cook, the food won't turn out good because I'm gonna be on edge. But if I get the chance to clean while I'm cooking, I'm good. I don't like having to clean up a mess after cooking. That's just
Yeah.
me. I can't stand when someone.
go in the kitchen and start. If the kitchen has to be clean, and
Yep.
I have to clean while I'm doing everything.
Yep,
Yeah,
I
when I
cannot
was-
stand after someone cooks, they leave a mess, and I'm sitting there like, you're like, oh, you can clean it up.
Yeah.
What do you mean I could clean that mess up? I didn't make that mess. Well, I cooked, and when I cook, I cleans. I cannot stand someone say, "I'll cook, you clean." No, you mean you'll cook and you'll clean.
Yeah, my mom's is the cook and clean person, and my pops is the if I made this food, you can at least wash the dishes. And it's like,
No,
'cause
no,
if it was the other way
I'll say
around,
the
you're
dishes
not gonna
sometimes.
help
Like
out.
if the dishes we eat on, yeah. If I cook, you can wash those dishes. But the dishes I used to cook, like and all the knives,
No,
I'm
that's
cleaning
what
it
I
up
mean.
as I'm going. I'm cleaning those as I'm going.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean, as you're making food, he'll let them pile up and be like, yeah, well,
Yeah,
y'all
I
can
can't
wash
do
the
that.
dishes.
I
made
can't-
the food. It's
I
like,
can't cook like that. For some reason, in my mind, if there's a mess there, I'm all distracted until that mess is gone.
I can
You know
respect
what?
that.
I'm like that too, nephew. Like my house has to be clean. Like it's clutter in my mind. If I just can't. I can't do rooms like that. My my open areas, living room, bathroom, and stuff, the kitchen, I have to have it cleaned. And
Yeah.
while I'm cooking, I am cleaning with it. Like, yeah,
I dig it. I dig it.
Yeah, I definitely need it. I mean, as long as my area is clean when I'm cooking, I'm fine. I'm content. Now, something my grandma used to do, and I never understood it until now, until recently when I started cooking. So I always just wonder, like, when my grandma used to cook when I was growing up, she'd be slaving in the kitchen, doing her thing. But then when it would be time to eat, she wouldn't eat. And I always thought about, like, why are you not eating? And then it wasn't until like years later I found out that most cooks who are actually like cooking their stuff, they're tasting their food, they're eating while they're
in there
cooking.
eating, yeah.
So typically they're not hungry after they finish their food because they were sampling the food, tasting the stuff, doing it. And
make sure it was right.
yeah. So
Yeah.
now they're full typically. And that was always my grandma. I used to get upset. I was like, why are you not eating? I'm already full. I was eating while I was cooking. I'm like, I would always give it his face like, come on, you need to eat some more. But it wasn't until actually I start really getting to a lot of deep cooking that I'm like, I understand it now. Like, when you're cooking, you're nibbling on your stuff just to make sure it tastes good. Everybody's going to be happy with it. So then when it's actually time to eat, you're somewhat a little full. You're not really hungry, so you're okay not eating right away because you have been eating while cooking. So you're not that hungry no more, or hungry at all for the matter. So yeah.
Damn, you just made me want a steak for whatever reason. I don't know why, but I just want to.
I don't know how that conversation made you.
I don't know, bro. I just got hungry and steak was the first thing that popped into my mind. You know what? We just bought basically like half of a cow worth of beef. So
that makes sense.
Dead ass been smelling nothing but pre-seasoned, like they seasoning steaks and shit the entire time before they freeze them. I'm like,
Oh, that actually sounds
hungry now.
good. So moving past that, so that concludes our interview with Lady T.
Okay.
And for those who don't know, she is your DUI baker, cooker, lady to go to. Yeah, whatever that is. All right,
she is not a DUI expert. Don't do that. Don't do that. You gonna put a negative spin on it.
But I will have her links up. We're gonna roll into some other topics. I'm hoping she stays around because we'll definitely probably love to have her input on some stuff. But if she can't stay, that's also fine.
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about Karens. I don't. Well, actually, you know what? Before we talk about Karens, first I want to point out some things. For all those who watch wrestling, I know we talk about wrestling. We had last week we talked about wrestling. The week before we talked about wrestling with Reptar.
Yeah.
And then pretty much right after that, Hulk Hogan passed.
Yeah, that was wild.
It was, right? Definitely wild how that happened. And I see everybody flocking to it. And I'm like, oh my god, you gotta buy this. And I said this to her before, right when I heard the news. I'm like, yo, watch what's gonna happen. Everybody's about to milk this. They're going to try to sell merchandise, all this stuff after this man's died. Now, when his last appearance that he did on a wrestling show was on Netflix, and he was booed. He was booed horribly because of his demeanor outside the ring. It wasn't because he's not a great wrestler. Yeah, the racial shit. He was just booed. No one was feeling him. And then when he passed away, everybody's like, "Oh my god, you're crying!" It's like, look, have that same energy. Look, he's a racist.
He was
racist.
As fuck.
He was racist.
He was from a different time frame where it was. That's how majority. I can't say all, but majority of them thought.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that as an old man, he still had that thought process. Yeah, and then not to mention, let's be real, a lot of our shit that pops up in the news it doesn't show a positive light on the black experience overall.
True.
So it's not a surprise that this old guy who was definitely around during fucking I'll even say man, listen, he was around forever.
1953 is when he was born. He was born 1 year before my grandma.
If
I'm not mistaken.
Born during, man, listen, they still wasn't past none of the bullshit when it came down to it. So I'm not surprised to hear that he probably heard from his grandparents some racial shit.
I feel like you can't. that excuse can't always be used because my grandma was white and she was born in that time era, and
That's
she
what I'm
dealt
saying.
with
No.
some racial stuff too in her from her side of the family, and that didn't sway her not one bit. If anything, that made her not like white people sometimes. I vaguely remember her saying she was racist against white people multiple times,
Hey,
because
man,
of
it be like that.
of shit like this. But for Hulk Hogan, on the other hand, as a personal person, I don't like that he was racist. In ring, his in ring performance, what he did, admiration, respect, the whole 9 yards, because that was my childhood growing up before really any of the bells and whistles. Although my biological mother did tell me that he was a dick and racist in real life before it really popped off. Yeah, 1949. I knew it was something around there. But it was one of those things. So I knew for a fact that in real life person, he was an asshole. But on screen, he put on this image, and portrayed a certain character, and that's what he was loved and praised for. The fact that everybody shunned him in the industry when he did those racist remarks and all this other stuff, and then as soon as he dies, the same people who shunned him, like, oh yeah, we got it. No, keep that same energy. He died. Everybody dies. When your family dies, do they do all the put him up in the plaque, do all this? No, they don't. They don't care. Their lives just keep going. Yes, he was an idol, held a spot in the main light for the wrestling industry, but he's still a person. His death does not affect me. His death personally does not affect anybody else. Yes, he had a legacy. He was an icon for wrestling, but that was in ring. His personal life, he passed away. He passed away. Like, you don't have to milk him with legacy merchandise and all this other stuff. You didn't do that when he was alive. So why are you doing it now that he's passed away? It makes you a hypocrite, in my opinion. And then, you always have those Karens out there for women, Karens, y'all, you know who they are. And they always say, I'm not racist. I married a black person, or I'm not racist. My kids are mixed. And my opinion, not Ariel's opinion, but every time someone says to me, I'm like, that's just what a racist person would say. When they say it, I'm like, that is just what a racist person would say. I'm not a racist. A racist person would say they're not a racist. To cover their ass.
Friends.
Yeah,
Black friends.
racist people can have people of color or whatever. That doesn't mean they're not still racist. They just don't show it all the time. I mean, that's what it is. But I want to coin the term for men, for a man Karen. And you can't call a male Karen because that's a female name. You respectfully respect the gender. That's a female. I feel like a male Karen should be called Kevin. Kevin and Karen.
Kevin?
Yeah, Kevin.
Nah.
Yeah. It's like, yo, this is coming at me.
Okay.
I was like, all right, Kevin, but that's not my name. You're kind of acting like one, though. Like a Karen, but you're a Kevin.
I give him Brad. I give him
Brad?
Brad. All right?
No,
I
you
feel
gotta
like
keep the
Brad.
K, bro. Double K, Karen.
You gotta keep
Kevin
it
and
with the
Karen.
K.
Kevin and Karen. Gotta keep it. Because it can go anybody. There's a black Karen or black Kevin, white Kevin, Hispanic Kevin. Kevin. Yeah. Males. Kevin.
All
It
right. You know
goes
what?
whatever.
Kevin does kind of fit.
If you think about it, like Kevin, like you're acting like a Kevin, bro. What the fuck is a Kevin? A male Karen.
I can only imagine
read the
the
room.
black version coming out. I can only imagine when they start dropping the black version. All right, Latrell.
Ah, yeah, Jamal. All right, Jamal.
Jamal. Yeah, that's the most. Yeah. That's the
Yo,
most used one
you
so
know what
far.
I've seen? So all funny in this. Y'all remember Martin Lawrence from back in the day, right?
Oh, Streamlabs done hit you with the.
No,
with
it's
the-
for him because he
what's
said
the name?
something. He probably
Yeah,
said a word. It didn't give me a chance to approve it. 21 mentions.
immediate, nah, we're not gonna
Yo,
allow
21 mentions were deleted from using foul language.
Yeah, that's crazy. They hit him with all of that. Because I just looked up at the phone and I seen every message was deleted. I'm like, wait a minute.
I didn't even see him come through. Or maybe they
Nah,
did come
I
through. Well, I
didn't
mean,
either.
we read them already. I don't know what foul language
Nah,
she
yeah, yeah.
used. It was a delayed thing. Wait, hold on. See
It had to have
messages.
it had to have been. From
It was all the stuff we already
whatever
talked about, but they were just delayed with it. Either way, Y'all remember
We
Martin
don't like
Lawrence?
you using that.
Yeah, remember Martin Lawrence back in the day? Maybe he's typing too fast. They gave him a break or something like that. I don't know. He's the only one in there typing
for
right
a
now.
second.
Yeah, I didn't time him out. I mean, that's my bot. That's for safety reasons.
Streamlabs.
Yeah. But y'all remember Martin Lawrence, and he would do the what was that? When he dressed up as the chick from across the street. What was her name? Or from
Shanae.
Shanae, yeah. And how Pam. You had Gina and Pam. You know how he would like go back and forth with Pam and this and that, and you know, call her whores and all other stuff. So apparently now,
Pam should have been in that #1 spot.
What should have been the one spot?
Pam should have had that #1 spot. It should have been Martin and Pam. I guess Martin and Gina got a good ring, but let's be real, in my opinion.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, they had some episode where it looked like there was some chemistry.
I was gonna say they had that episode where they was clicking them together.
Yeah. But
Okay.
apparently it's not aging well because apparently this woke generation is like Martin Lawrence. That those shows were very degrading and this and that. That was the culture back then. It was comedy. Yeah. It was a talk show. You can't look at something from
what hurt.
Yeah, you can't look at, and you're comedians. You gotta think about it. Comedians are meant to make jokes. Like not everybody's gonna like what a comedian has to say. You just have to deal with it. You're not always gonna agree with them. You just have to not
be the unpopular opinion.
Yeah. Their job is to say what you may be thinking, but not comfortable saying, and they're comfortable saying because there's gonna be people that are gonna laugh about it. I mean, that's true for the matter.
So uptight about it today, man.
Freaking even when people drop the the N-word, and they're like even when you're like with somebody they're or white or whatever, and they're like, oh, I could say it, I'm married too. And I remember one time Magda I was with Magda, and whenever I first met her, she's from Europe, so they view things a lot differently. They're like they don't view it the same here. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I remember one time she was getting ready to say it, I just kind of looked at her. And she's like,
don't do it.
She's like, I'm not racist though because my son's black and I'm married to a black man. I'm like, see, and that's just what a racist person would say. And I was like, and that's just what a racist person would say. Like the mask that they're not racist. They're like, I know you're not racist, but if someone from the outside saw you saying that, they're gonna look at you like, what the fuck you just say? Like, I know you're not racist.
Do too much to say.
I was like, I know you're not racist, but I mean, the next person's not gonna say that. Not to mention, like, you just should refrain saying it because you're white as fuck, and coming out of your mouth, even though you mean no type of disrespect or no way about it, you just trying to pick up on the slang that everybody else is using because you're from Europe. It's just not what you say in the States. Someone might smack you, which went into that conversation. Like, I remember that conversation where she was like, we talked about this before. She's like, if I got into a fight, you get my back, right? I'm like, well, it depends, one-on-one fight. Yeah, one-on-one fight, go handle your business. Like, fight and go do your thing. Now, more trying to jump in and try to jump you, yes, I will intervene because you're like, I'm not allowing that to happen. And it's like, and I remember she asked me, well, what would you do? I don't condone violence against, women, but I'm not going to let a family member or my wife get jumped, in front of me. If a one-on-one fight, handle your business. They try to jump you, I'm going to smack one of them. I'm going to smack one of them hard enough to know,
that's not
don't do it. No, it's just me. It's like, anybody else want it? Because I'm
putting hands on women.
I'm heavy-handed, but I'm going to let them know this is a one-on-one fight. If y'all try to intervene, you're going to deal with me, and I'm a completely different type of animal, and it's not going to fare well for you. I just let it be known and leave it at that.
If it's a one-on-one, you gotta handle your business. But
exactly.
If once it becomes a two or more kind of joint apart, nah. I'm not just slapping one. I'm sorry. I'm grabbing, slamming, throwing. I got to. I'm not gonna allow you to get jumped. Now, what I might end up doing on the same tip, I might wind up pulling Shorty over here. Now you whip her ass. I'm gonna hold her hands back. Fuck her up now since they want to jump you.
So this statement my dad just said, he said, most Polish people don't like black folks. It's known in their country. I have to say, they may not, but since I've been to Poland, twice, 3 times, one of those numbers, Um, I was thinking the same thing. And you know, when I was there, I did have a lot of people stare at me because I was like one of the few black people in this little town. I was like, man, racist people, right? Just staring at me. And it wasn't because they were racist. They were
No, you're an
intrigued.
anomaly.
Yeah,
You're
they
an
were
anomaly.
definitely
You haven't
intrigued. They
been.
were coming up trying to talk to me.
Yeah.
They were smiling. They were just baffled. They were, and it threw me off. I was like, I was expecting the worst. I was like ready to throw hands because they said, "Yo, don't talk about soccer there or football because you know they get aggressive." And I was my father-in-law who was like yeah, you don't got to worry about that. He's like, you're big, you're black. He was like, they're not gonna come ask you about football, and if they do,
If-
and you say something they don't like, they're not gonna try to fight you. They're gonna be
I'm about to-
afraid of you.
I'm about to fuck up a whole lot of listeners' heads right now. If they didn't know, we ruled Europe. We are not seen as the same way we're seen or portrayed in America. Over in the European countries, most European countries, I should say, they actually do fuck with black people, not just because of what we've done for the world, bringing culture and shit like that, but we legitimately first off was running Europe at one point in time.
Yeah.
And
know,
it's
and-
been whitewashed to show that we had that. Oh yeah, we were not the wild ones. Then we was in charge. We actually showed a lot of motherfuckers, especially white people, how to get clean, how to grow
Yep.
shit, how to
Yeah, you know,
actually like we did a lot.
I
We
know
did
a lot of people who don't
so-
like using rags or loofahs, rags. They're like, I'll just use soap in my hand. I'm like, how you scrubbing yourself? Soap in hand? Like, well, that's not cleaning yourself. Like, you gotta actually use a rag or something. Like, you gotta, loofah,
shit.
rag. You gotta actually put some
A
friction
lot
there
of
and
them
get
don't
that
even
dirt
realize
off.
that they actually ashy. A lot of them
Yeah.
don't even know they actually got ash on their body until it take a black person to show. Let me get that arm, to rake your arm and see all that fucking snow flying off of your arm. That's yeah. You're not. There's no difference. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of misunderstandings that I feel like is done intentionally. I'm not.
The
gonna front.
but you know, they always say history is written and made by the winners. So if you know how everything is dictated, Christopher Columbus did all this and that, the Native Americans and that, their history was whitewashed because quote unquote they didn't win the war, they didn't win the fight. So whatever really happened is hidden because since they didn't win, they don't dictate what history says. So history can always be changed and altered because the winner of the battle writes the history. So if they don't write history, or if you don't win the battle, you don't get to say it. What happens? It's like Independence Day. Like a lot of European, they're like, "Oh, we don't celebrate Independence Day because you lost." But
'Cause
if
you
you
lost.
ask them like the history, they view it differently. They're taught something different there than we're taught here. They view it very differently. It's in their mindset. You know, I don't think they really view it as a big loss. Sometimes they view it differently. But I mean, there was friction, there was tension there. It's wild, bro.
That's for sure.
And you know, my boy Thad is going to be doing this conspiracy theory thing. But before we go into that part of it, has anybody? I just want to know, has anybody kept up with like current events? When I don't really keep up with the news like that, 'cause I don't really care for the news too much. But I have, you know, caught winds of a couple of things, and one of the things I've caught winds of that I'm sure Thad would talk about. How do I feel about Latino women? I don't have a problem with them. You know, they're loud. You know, they always want to have
They're
kids.
loud?
I mean, they're funny to be with, to hang out. I mean, to me, I don't.
Yo.
I don't have I don't have a preference. I think it doesn't, to me, I don't care if you're black, blue, green, yellow, you know. Those don't bother me. It depends on your personality, I think. And how you present
love
yourself,
me.
because I mean, you can look great. So you can be, you know, top 10, top model, whatever you want to be. Everybody can be feeding over you. But if you have a shitty personality, your looks are irrelevant. Your looks at that point are trash.
Yep.
If you have a shallow personality with good looks, your looks don't matter. It doesn't matter. Your
you
looks
still- that
absolutely
makes
don't
you
matter.
could be a 10 in the face and you'll be a 4 just off of how you carry yourself.
And you know what's crazy? I've been seeing this trend. People have been doing this interview, or on Facebook and whatnot, and they were like, "Oh, let me get your number to these chicks," and the chick was like, "Oh yeah, where you taking me? Oh, where you want to go? Oh, steakhouse." And I just saw this one day, and the guy was like, "Oh yeah, okay, we'll go as long as you're paying," because she was like, "Steakhouse, I like to have this and this and that," and the dude was like, "As long as you're paying," she said, "Oh, well, I'm not going." He said, "Oh, then we're not going then." He's like, and he had, I feel like you're giving me broke vibes. And she like looked at him like, what? Like she was about him with the same thing. It's like, oh, are you mad because I hit you with it first? Like you were going to tell me no, you didn't want to go to date because I didn't want to pay for the meal first? And I was like, what about 50-50? Like, it's like, you're like, you prompted me for the date. And then once I actually where you want to go, I'll drive. And as long as you're paying, and you say, oh, I don't want to go. Oh, you're giving me broke vibes. And someone was like,
unpopular.
Yeah.
But if anything, to the women that do listen or that will listen, if you do 50-50, there's no indication or no reason for the man to assume that you might owe him some bucks. If you pay for your portion, let him pay for you, and especially on a first date. Let that shit marinate, because when it come down to it, you thinking that this motherfucker might be a creep, pay for your own bill. Get the shit that you know that you can afford to get. Let him see that you paying for that shit yourself. And he might even, oh, nah, fuck that. Nope, nah, I will never let you do that shit again. But at the same time, there's nothing to be expected. It's legitimately, at that point, y'all both getting to know each other. So it's not where he just asking you out, trying to take you out to get some box, and you not just asking to be taken out or getting taken out so that we could just get some food.
Yeah, true.
Now, if you don't want to do the 50-50 and you rather only him pay for it, don't be surprised if the motherfucker asks, "Hey, listen, I'm trying to get a little something off the top." I ain't saying it's right. I'm just saying don't be surprised if a motherfucker asks for it.
I think one of the things I'm seeing lately is and most of the dating fields on like even on social media, and it's most women calling out guys, oh, I broke up with him because he wouldn't pay my bills. And then it's like, wait, you're trying to date someone and you're getting mad that you're talking to them and they're not willing to pay your bills, and you're calling them broke behavior. And it's like, but who's paying your bills right now? You are. So why does you start talking to me that I have to pay your bills? Like it doesn't, it's not logical. Like we're talking, we're not together, we're not married, but you want me to pay your bills. And if I say no, that's giving broke behavior. But then are you paying your bills? Because if you're not, that's giving broke behavior. Like you're looking for me to pay your bills and we're just talking.
Or I asked you on a date and I gotta pay for your babysitter. I didn't even know you had kids.
Yeah, babysitter, nails. You gotta pay for this. Why do I pay for all that? Like
outfit.
I shouldn't have to do that on the first date. Like,
you
gotta pay for my babysitter, or I got kids at home. You gotta pick them to go boxes. What do you mean? I came on a date with you. Like, I'm all for, like, if people have kids and you go on a date, you work with that. If it's your cup of tea. But don't instantly expect that if someone's taking you out, they're gonna pay for you, your kids, especially if it's a first date. Like, you can't set a bar super high and then get mad that someone's not living up to that standard, because no one is going into a date saying, oh, I'm going on this first date, but then I'm about to spend like $600 because I got to pay for her to get her nails done. I got to pay for her to have a babysitter. I got to pay for her meal. Oh, and then I got to pay for 3 to-go boxes for her kids to take home to her kids. Like, this is a first date.
You gotta bring your punk ass best friend to be on a date with us too. No.
I was like,
I don't feel safe. Then you shouldn't be here.
Those things always throw me off when I see that. And they're like, oh, that's giving broke behavior. How is it giving broke behavior? Because he's respecting his money, that he's not being a simp. He's not throwing his money at you left and right. For the life of me, I don't understand that. And I'm not saying that that's the case for every situation, because there are some men that do the same thing. There are definitely some men who do the same thing. And even them, I say, yo, get him, go get a fucking job. Stop being a broke ass lazy bitch. Go get a job, take care of your shit. The
Women, and y'all, some of y'all women be out here fucking homosexuals and then wondering what's going on. Well, you fucking motherfuckers who want to fuck for a place to stay. Hello, what you thought was
first
gonna
off,
happen?
a man is not obligated to pay her bills because he's dating her. He has his own bills to pay. It is right. They help them out once in a while, but they may not. But I'm not going to pay your bills. Yeah, true. If I'm going on a date with you for the first time, do not expect me to pay your bills. No, I remember when I was in the dating scene. I remember some chick told me that one time. She was like, even when I was like looking on the dating sites, when I moved into a new area, I remember some chick was like, I'm looking for a good man. I want to go on a date. I'm like, oh, cool. You know, let's go catch a movie. Let's go get a drink, something like that, brunch, something, whatever. Oh, and then she said, what was it? Pay for fun. I'm like, pay for fun? What the fuck are you talking about? Like, your profile said you're looking for someone. Like, you're trying to see the dating world, and you tell me I gotta pay to hang out. I'm not paying to hang out with you. The fuck this is like, I'm not doing that. I'm not that desperate. Thank you very much. Let's see. What is he saying? He's trying. And I think the bots hit him because he's writing these long messages. Let's see. No, some people don't understand the being established up front, though. But if you guys have been trawling the news, besides just that, have y'all seen this 7-mile meteor thing that's supposed to be coming towards Earth by like November? You know, I saw this and I did a little research, and then I came across this video where someone was like, they were talking about this thing. It was like, it's an alien coming here with hostile intent. And from what I heard, I was like, yo, how the fuck you know this bitch is coming with hostile intent?
That's what
Okay,
I wanted to know.
if it's
How do they
7
know
miles
if it
long,
was-
all right, it could be a spaceship, but how do you know this
Their
motherfucking
intent.
ship is coming with hostile intent? What did y'all do out there to fucking piss somebody
Yeah, right.
off to have them come and talk to us?
Right. When y'all make that, y'all already like is saying this is what it is. Like, yeah. Okay.
But I mean, if you think about it, there are a lot of things that don't add up with our planet, and a lot of things that don't actually add up with our history. A lot of things that are controversy that you really is very hard to fathom and explain. Like, most people don't realize that in the Bible they talk about dinosaurs. You know, against what everybody says, like, oh, dinosaurs were super extinct millions and millions of years ago. But there are actually scriptures in the Bible where they're actually describing dinosaurs. And if you think about that, it's like, okay, well, dinosaurs are supposed to be around in, like, you know, billions, millions years ago. So how would it be in the Bible, right? Because if you think about the Bible is not older than dinosaurs. Dinosaurs are supposed to be way older than the Bible, right?
millions of years. Yeah.
Millions of years, which also contradicts something else, because there is proof that our human DNA is actually older than the planet Earth. So if our DNA dates back further than Earth, then we're not originally from here. So,
Exactly.
I mean, if we have books like the Bible that talk about dinosaurs being in it, which there's actual passages of them describing dinosaurs, depicting dinosaurs in it, and it's like, you can look it up, it's out there. You start to really re-examine some of those words in there and look at it. It's like, what else have I been told that's not true? Like Aztec Mayans, the pyramids, Egyptians. I mean, you still have a civilization that they say disappear off the face of the earth without a trace. Then you have civilizations underneath water where they have temples and all that stuff that look immaculate, like they were brand new. Then you also have those talks where they say there's something under California, that one good earthquake, whatever, is going to push up Atlantis, all that good stuff. And there's like, that can't be true. That can't be true. How can it be true? How can it not be true? We've only discovered what, 2%, 5% of the ocean? That's it.
Yep.
There is so much to know. Same thing with space. Like, people can say aliens can't be real. Other life forms can't be real. How can it be real? You know, in 1970, Saturn, when they were trying to look up Saturn and find stuff, and they saw like these particles on Saturn, they brushed it off. It wasn't until this past, I think, 5 years ago, they re-examined what they found on Saturn and realized it was microorganisms on Saturn. Well, if there's microorganisms, it also means that there's life somewhere.
Right.
So, I mean, just because we don't see it, huh?
I walked in at the right time. My bad. I came back in at the right time because I was about to say something. Yeah, you think?
Yeah. So I mean, just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. You know, there's a lot of unknowns that are out there that people don't realize. I mean, a lot of people don't want to believe it because, you know, first thing people think is as negative stuff. I mean, but I think about all the shit that's going on right now. You had a big hurricane that happened that was supposed to, not hurricane, earthquake that's supposed to spark a tsunami in what I think China, Japan. That was supposed to hit Hawaii. You have all these heat waves that are happening there in places that normally don't happen. You have massive floods happening. Yeah, you have stuff happening in places that are not supposed to happen, and all of a sudden, now you have a 7-mile asteroid meteor coming towards Earth that's supposed to be here by November, but is quote unquote supposed to be an alien spaceship with hostile intent. And that's like, how do you know? Unless you, how do you know this? Are you hiding something from us? I mean, it's not uncommon for a government to do that to the people. I mean, but I feel like this would be a kind of a big deal for people to know.
First off, I don't think that they would tell the public just off of panic.
Mass hysteria.
No,
Yeah,
I feel
There's nothing you can do.
when I heard about it, I thought about you, Thad. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. When
because remember what I said years ago.
Yeah, when we watched that,
I'm
so
the first person to come across an alien.
Years ago, me and Thad watched this movie called Dead Girl. Don't watch it. Just know the name. Don't look it up. Don't watch it. It's not worth your time. It's a really fucked up movie. Xbox had this thing where you can be in a party and watch movies together. So that's what we did. That was like when Xbox was doing like the whole party thing. You could watch Netflix together. Yeah, you remember that shit. We watched this movie and then we did a scenario. And this motherfucker here was like, yo, if an alien came down, I bring it in my house and I do the experiments. I'm not going to give it into the government because why would I do that? They're going to do the same thing. So when they say hostile aliens coming here, potentially, I'm like, yo, who the fuck caught the alien and started experimenting? Who do we need to go talk to? Thad, you did something out there in North Carolina?
Not me. Not this time. Not this time. I ain't do nothing. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
That's the government trying
back
to
on the alien talk. To be honest,
that is
true.
Feel
like they had to have known for a very, very long time.
They've been saying that thing has been coming since 2017 or 18.
I mean, they also say aliens are already here, though.
About this armada thing that they're talking about. I'm talking about specifically, like, all right, before we had telescopes and shit like that, the Dogon tribe knew of the star system without any of these modern technologies. And I'm talking years, decades, damn near centuries ago. They knew about these things. There's depictions on fucking there's hieroglyphs and all of that shit showing motherfuckers wearing astronaut helmets, fucking ships coming from space, all of that. There's no way that shit has been pre-recorded before we had actual scribers and shit like that for it to become like a, hey, listen, we don't know. Not to mention, this fucking universe is too vast for us to not have for us to be the only life forms out there. No way. No way.
Yeah, completely no way.
The Dogons knew about Sirius B, and whatnot years before some of these astronomers, these world-renowned astronomers know. Come on now. Come on. Ain't no way that y'all had absolutely no understanding of what the fuck was out there. Stop it.
Facts. No, but also, Thad's mentioned something to me the other day, and I didn't pay much mind, but as I was sitting here thinking about it, for those who don't know, our Earth has started to spin faster and move faster. And Thad brought to my attention that, quote unquote, our Earth has kind of hit the sacred timeline again of quote unquote
Oh yeah,
that you were
I said
saying
that shit.
before.
Yeah, yeah, because they how they winded up missing. We had the what was it? What they call it? What do they call it? The Mandela effect when it
Yeah,
came down to that old movie. I forgot the name of it just
the
that
one
quick.
you want to talk about the
But
one with
then
Sinbad? You talking about that one?
Sinbad, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
when they
that
lost
that was
all the
legit, bro.
footage
I
of it
remember
and
that
all that
movie
shit,
on Disney.
and now
Uh,
it just pops back up randomly. Nah,
yeah,
we jump timelines again. I'm gonna just say that. I don't think we just stick in one. I think we jump back and forth between timelines or dimensions,
I
depending
mean,
on how when you
there's
wake
also
up.
talks of well, it's not talks, it's actual factual thing, and they're waiting to see. So, what was it? I forgot how many years ago, but there's that Earth, that planet Earth X, whatever, that one that they saw light years away. That's like 3 or 4 times bigger than our Earth, or whatever it was. Um, apparently that Earth at some point it's in a different universe that's rotating, but at some point it rotates enough to where we can actually see it. Um, and I guess it does like every a millennial or something like that. But we're almost at that point again where that planet's supposed to be coming closer to us again, where we could be able to see it. And then it's supposed to be gone for another however many years again, and then
You talking
rotate
about
back
Nibiru?
around. Huh?
I was gonna say you talking about what the Anunnaki, yeah, well he Nibiru.
I think that's Nibiru.
I don't know the planet what it's called, but they said every now and then it comes close to us, and they think when that planet comes close to us, that is when how in Egypt where they depict like those giants and all the stuff coming from the space.
Yeah.
They think that is when those beings would come from here, and I'm like, could be, never know. I mean, I wasn't around in that time frame, so But they also talk about when we die, that you have energy in your body when you die, that they try to record. There was a thing that they said when people die, your essence or whatever it is, quote unquote soul, it leaves your body and it travels, and they recorded it. It travels light years away somewhere else where it sits. And I'm like, that sounds ominous and weird at the same time.
Yeah.
Like how are you figuring this stuff out? Like how are you knowing this?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, shoot.
There are
It's
so many unknowns that will probably never be answered in our lifetime. Let's
Oh yeah, all the documentation that's really gonna be needed to explain all of it is gonna be released well past our time.
it may be released before the Epstein files. You never know.
Yeah,
For sure. For sure.
definitely. Oh man, that's a fact. Nah, that's a definite fact.
Yeah.
Damn,
Oh man,
man, shoot.
that's
No, but
hilarious.
this,
Though.
I mean, hell, when we talk about if you're gonna talk about the giants and stuff, like mentioning how if they come back and whatnot, if Nephilim's, I don't think Nephilim's ever left.
No, there's all the
If
stuff that they
I
say.
don't either.
No,
All
it's
those
I'm like
things they
I'm
didn't
talking
leave, bro.
about from the minerals. I'm talking about minerals and stuff that they can find in these caves and whatnot. Just happen to look like body fat and muscle tissue and shit like that.
I just
Out of
I just
these,
saw.
also these places that look like they've been like as if they form a shape of a body.
Oh yeah, like the snakes, bro. Like most people don't realize, like anacondas. They're like, oh, anacondas. But no, there was a snake called starts with a T. This big ass snake, back in the day, and this motherfucker was huge. I'm glad it went extinct, but apparently there's signs that it, or I'm quote unquote it went extinct. But apparently there are signs in South Africa or South America, wherever the snake is, where it's super hot, that there's signs that maybe that snake actually didn't go extinct, that it just went into hiding. And now that it's getting so hot out, they're starting to resurface because a lot of people are starting to see in certain places where they describe big creatures or unseen things, they're starting to see them more frequently now. There's recently a mining company got mad because
because
yeah, Titanoboa. There was
Okay.
recently people got this mining company got mad with the government because they just found out that underneath in the ocean, on the ocean floor, there are minerals on the like these little stones, and inside those stones, it's creating oxygen on the ground floor of the ocean. not using trees, not using, you know, how they say how oxygen is made on the earth where you breathe. No, it's literally being made in the water right now. Like, and they're trying to find ways how to mine these stones that are somehow being deposited in the bottom of the ocean that have oxygen in them. Like, it's a legit
Right.
thing. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, how are y'all finding all this weird shit? Or, and in my opinion, I'm like, or are y'all just throwing shit out here right now, trying to grab our attention and just trying to distract from what's going on? It's like the same thing when the COVID shots happened, and when Ukraine and Russia started doing all their fucking weird shit, and they popped out fucking the disclaimer for the COVID shots, the brochure, and all stuff that wasn't supposed to be coming out. All of a sudden, it dropped, and it was just brushed under the table. No one really talked about it because they were worried about Ukraine and Russia, but not paying attention to the stuff that was actually going in front of their face that they should have been paying attention to, like, you know, the warnings about COVID, like those COVID vaccines, like the side effects, like that. It was a whole fucking thing that when it came
Yeah.
out, people were so mad, even military people, because they were forced to get those shots, knowing that there was actual risks to getting those shots. It wasn't safe. And then when they dropped that list, everybody's like, yo, y'all dropped that list like 6 months ago. What happened 6 months ago? What happened was Russia and Ukraine started a war with each other, you know, power hungry Russia. And they dropped the list, but it was overlooked because on the other side of the pond, there was stuff going on where people's attention was, but they weren't looking at what they needed to be looked at. And that's normally what happens. The government, you know, most government or other places are like, hey, look at this hand. Don't mind this one over here. Well, I'm going to do all the dirt with this one.
That's the classic move.
We're like magicians. Sleight of hand trick.
Switch.
That's what our friend in office is doing now. Look over here. Don't look there.
You know,
Yeah,
I
don't
got
worry
someone else
about the
watching our
Epstein files.
our
Yeah,
chat.
you
He didn't
want it.
stop in, but my boy Jose, I used to work with, he was supposed to be topping and tuning into the chat, and he's just sitting there in the third wheel. Well, my pops, you know, he has this thing. You know how Diddy has his baby oil, right? Well, my boy has hot honey. He's like, I'll use hot honey. I'm not gonna use baby oil because, you know, Diddy ruined it. I'm like, yo, that just sounds sticky and messy. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, well, I don't. No, hot honey is crazy. Yo, hot honey is very messy. You gotta
Oh,
wash sheets and all of
Now
that
you
shit
talking about
afterwards.
a wax scene going down after that. It's about to be a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. All you gonna hear is ow. Oh, no.
but my dad did say though, like the government was trying to scare us in 2000. I do remember that when 1999.
Oh, the Y2K.
Yeah, the Y2K, the world's going to end in the year 2000. Just
Hey, y'all
it's
better stock up on y'all. cans,
yeah, I
boys,
remember that. And 2000 came, we're all sitting like there was no end of the world.
People trying to
Or the
steal
Mayan
bombs.
calendar shit. How it's supposed the end of the world was gonna happen. I think was that also Y2K?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a little bit
Everybody
afterwards.
song
Oh, my
going
bad.
into 2000.
There was something
And
that
then
happened in 2010 as well, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I don't.
2012 was something else. The world was supposed to end.
Yeah. You were supposed to hear the trumpets. The Raptor was coming in 2012. I remember that.
Mhm.
None of that should
Wait,
happen.
speaking of that, did you know that there's a broadcast that went out not too long ago talking about if people heard the trumpets, don't go outside, like
Yeah,
stay your
about
ass
a
inside
month
and all
or
that.
so ago.
Yo, I was like, what the fuck? What do they know that's going? Like, what y'all been hearing,
It,
dog?
it said people radio stations was doing that and shit. I don't know what that was, cause
Yeah.
I heard that on several people channels and they were like recording it too. I was like, what the hell?
No, there have been some really strange supernatural phenomenons that have been happening that can't be explained. Now, I give them that. There are some weird things that are going on that can't be explained. Even scientists
Yeah,
and
like
experts
Russia,
sometimes don't know how to explain some of this stuff.
that that little incident that happened in Russia last week was quite different.
I don't know about that one.
What
Inform
happened?
me.
They
I don't
had
watch
the,
news.
it was like a earthquake and a tsunami was coming.
Oh, that's what we were just talking about
Okay.
earlier. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah.
hit
and it
China
was
and
like
Hawaii and all that
like
stuff.
military, all of that, and I was like, I'm kind of feeling something strange going on because they always said for years that the government is able to mess with the weather
Yeah.
patterns and stuff.
I mean, I believe that. I believe that. I
But
mean, they also say,
I'm gonna
what's
keep
it
it real.
in the North Pole? There's part of the North Pole, like Antarctica, that you're not allowed to
Yeah.
go. The ice
Oh,
wall,
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
you're
Yeah.
not allowed to go there. You're not allowed to fly there. You're not allowed to take pictures of it. You're
Yep.
not allowed to even really breathe about it. I mean, like,
Well,
and the
then
people who do
there's
go there, they end up disappearing. They're no
not.
longer
Yeah,
heard
you know
from.
what? It's also said that the elites that are allowed access into the elites being high, like the motherfuckers who got the most money type shit.
Mhm.
Like,
Hmm?
there's only one person who wasn't an elite that went over there. He was a pilot, and he said
Yeah.
that he found basically like a whole nother world once you got past that point. It's like
Hmm.
entrance to a whole nother sector. So if that is the case, right, we still on conspiracy theories. What if the realms, like the 9 realms, is a real thing?
I mean,
Like,
believe it or not, a lot of people say the space and the moon are the same, or the space and the ocean is the same too. Believe it or
oh yeah,
not,
yeah. I've heard that. I've heard
a
that as well.
lot, because how you move in the water as you go deeper is the same way as you move into space. It's the exact same way. You have
I've
you have
heard.
the void in space, which is
Mhm.
crazy because you can be almost right by the sun and still die from being too cold if you didn't have proper stuff in space. Even though when you're on the planet Earth and you're sitting here, we're super far away from the sun, right?
That shit's
We're
beaming.
dying here. But if you're in space, which theoretically you're kind of closer to the sun in space,
Mhm.
you're not feeling that heat, which is
Yep.
it's kind of odd to me. I know it's the space vacuum. It's same thing with the ocean. It's the void of the light, and that's why it gets cold. But if you're in space and you're to the sun, space vacuum or not, you should still feel some type of heat. I mean,
Yeah, that's probably based upon like atmospheric pressure, holding and being able to retain that feeling of heat compared to the void of space being nothing to contain that. It's just it might be a light, but it's so fucking dark.
I
There's
mean, like the
nothing to keep
stars you
it warm.
see, quote unquote, the stars you see in the sky are distant suns that have already died out. You're just seeing them millennium years away, light years away, and they haven't completely died out on our end. Which I don't know how long they stay up. I remember, what was it? I don't know if y'all ever went to the planetarium growing up in school, but I remember
Mhm.
I had a little field trips in planetarium, and we go into the auditorium and see the stars and the Jupiter, and they had that star called the Betelgeuse that was a red star in the sky, the only red star, and I always like, how is there only one red star in the sky? And I mean, I don't I now that I think about it, I don't see too many people talking about that star anymore. But there was only that one red star, and then what happened after that? Pluto's no longer a planet no more. It's a moon or just a rock. It's like all these changes happen. Then you also had that once upon a time, they found what they called what was Planet X beyond Pluto at one point,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden
Mm.
it was no longer a thing. And I was like, wait, you guys are talking about certain things, and when people start to look and watch and try to figure out what's going on, all of a sudden it's no longer a thing. What is really going on, or is the idea of what you were trying to do is not working? But for me, it's like they said going to the moon was staged because all the stuff that happened, and no one really went to the moon the first time. Also,
I could believe that.
so I was trying to have an argument with someone. I think it was Magda about the moon. So you know how the moon, when you see the moon on the new moon or full moon, it's super bright, right?
Mhm.
And everyone's like, how is the moon so bright? And I looked up. The reason why the moon is so bright because it has metallic metals on the moon, right? So we're spinning, and this has always threw me off because I try to be logical with it, and maybe I'm just, my mind is just not there. But so we're spinning, right? We're spinning around, we're rotating. This is the Earth spinning demonstration. This is the Earth. We're spinning. This is the moon. The moon has all these metallic stuff on it that is supposed to reflect the sun, right?
Mm.
and according to NASA and everybody else, we only see one side of the moon at all times. The whole moon has the metallic side on it, but we only see one side of the moon at all times. If that is the case, and we're only seeing one side of the moon at all times while the Earth is spinning and the moon is not spinning, right? And the whole moon's supposed to be covered with metallic craters or the stuff that's supposed to reflect the sunlight. Why don't we see this moon 24/7 then? Because if the moon is reflecting the sunlight and this moon has that stardust on it that's metallic and reflects the sun no matter what, then in theory, we should always see the moon full. There should be never a moment where we see the moon that's blacked out, because the sun is always hitting the moon. So it's always reflecting off the moon. So the moon, in theory, in the sky should always be bright, but it's not, which doesn't add up. And if you look up, it says the moon has little like particles on it that's supposed to make it look bright, and you always see one side of the moon, the same side of the moon. You always see it. Well, if we always see the same side of the moon, why does one side get darker than the other? And why does it sometimes you can't see it at all? I mean, if it's reflecting the sun and the moon stays in the same spot, the moon doesn't move. We move, quote unquote, they said. If the moon really truly doesn't move like that, and I mean, it's going around us, but it doesn't rotate. So we're only seeing one side. So if the sun is constantly hitting that moon and we're the only thing that's spinning, why does the moon have a dark phase then? If the whole moon is covered with this metallic, shiny shit, we should always see the moon no matter what. But we don't. That doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I know for sure that I believe I've heard some about there being a second moon, but I know it's a definite second sun out there that's harder for us to spot.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
What up, Tosh? But yeah, we on podcast timing.
Oh, my fault. You sound passionate. I'm like,
Nah, but
Oh,
we,
we have a
we
good conversation, bro.
definitely we definitely have studies on there being a second sun out there for sure.
I mean, there's studies on all this stuff out there, but there's always something that contradicts it, though. It makes you wonder, like, is it our knowledge of contradicting it, or is it just people are just throwing shit out there and just hoping people are gravitating it? Because
I think
it's like, and that's maybe it's just me being like a dyslexic person and not taking everything that everybody tells me with face value sometimes. Because when some people tell me certain shit like it's supposed to be like knowledge, I look at it like it may come from book and it's supposed to be knowledgeable, but it doesn't sound logical to me. It's like if you go into philosophy, and I had this conversation with a philosophy teacher before when I was doing my college stuff, and I said, I think everything's a scam. I said the commandments, all right? And I'm not really religious, but I'm spiritual and stuff, But when I think about it, I said, okay, you got the 10 commandments. You had one person, quote unquote, walked up somewhere, came back down, and said, I got 10 commandments that someone said to me. The Bible is man-made. All religion is man-made. Period. I took a religious course. I passed with an A.
I don't think you should be listening to this, Taj. You just came from your conviction.
But
I'm listening.
No, but it's documented that all religion is man-made. The oldest religion out there is like a Hindu, I forgot, it's a Hindu religion or something like that. But all religions are man-made, right? If all religions are man-made, how did they get the knowledge? You just got one person that said, this is what someone said. How do you know that they actually spoke to someone? You're just taking their word. Leap of faith, right? Just leap of faith. They spoke to someone, they said this. But how do you verify that? This one person walked up and came down with a stone and said, these are 10 commandments. This is what we're supposed to go by. Who's validating that? One person made the rules, and then you had a bunch of people get together, males or women, most likely males back in the day, and said, these are going to be the rules. We're going to say some higher being said it. It's man-made, though. It's like they always say, you got to give your tithes to the church. You got to do this. You got to do that. No, you don't. It's man-made. What y'all say in the Bible? God's here now. He's here nor there. He doesn't want or whatever. Doesn't need anything. So if he doesn't need that, and the Bible says your body's your temple, why am I donating to a church? or any establishment. My temple is my body. I'm going to put it into my body because that's what's said in the Bible, right? The church is man-made. Why am I lining a pocket of somebody else? That's not logical, not feasible, does not make sense to me. All religions man-made. So I take all
mentioned
religion stuff with a grain of salt, in my opinion, these days.
The church itself was actually more enlisted with the government more than it
Yeah,
was
to
with
control.
people
It was a way to
as
control
well.
people. It's all a form of control. And it said, okay, we have a government. Oh, they want to listen. Well, let's give them a church. Let's give them something to believe in. Because then, if the church says it, and they believe an almighty being is telling them this, they need to do this, they'll fall in line. But if you have individuals like myself who think differently, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't add up. If you're telling me one thing, but then the history that you're saying actually contradicts what you're saying, I'm less likely to believe you. And that's why a lot of doctors and scientists don't believe in God. They don't believe in certain things because you're like, oh, praise God, you saved me. And they're sitting there thinking, God didn't save you. He wasn't in the operating room. I was doing that work. That was me. That was me doing it. Like, he didn't do that. I ain't breaking the rules, doing what I'm supposed to do, because in reality, we're not supposed to be cutting your body and doing all this stuff, but I'm doing it. I mean, that's how it's viewed. So I don't know.
I personally, I'm spiritual myself, but I still honestly hold to certain degrees of, hey, this may not necessarily make sense on how I'm just seeing it, but then at the same time, through my own experiences, I do believe, I do know that there is a creator. From what I've witnessed, from what I've been through, and what I've experienced myself, I honestly I'd feel dumb as fuck myself at the end of my road for me to be like, damn, I don't think there was nobody that, like, if it wasn't, hey, fuck it. It is what it is. I still live my life as an individual who still try to do right by others.
No, I
But-
believe there's a creator. I do.
That's at the end of that, that's the way I look at it. Now, when it comes down to specific religions and whatnot, if we're gonna do that based upon Bible and whatnot, the Tower of Babel itself is an indicator that we all at one point in time spoke the same language.
Yeah.
And if not, even if it wasn't verbal, it could have been telepathic, where we legitimately was able to feel energetic wise, or even whatever.
I mean, you
It
only
could have been
lose
any
so
way, shape,
so
or
much of
form.
your brain.
That's possible as well too. You know what I'm saying? But the thing of overall, I truly believe that there's one particular case that, you know what I'm saying, we depending on what language barrier you was in place or was placed upon you, you took what understanding you had and tried to teach it in a way that, now, this is what we understand or what we remember, what was spoken down to, because it wasn't necessarily written down in books, but it was told by story.
Yeah, word of
if that's
mouth.
the case, yeah, if that's the case, the knowledge that was passed down can only be taught. Hey, this is what we found to be true for us. Now, it doesn't mean that everybody has the exact same thing. No, not at all. There's a lot of things that was switched around and whatnot, but the understanding that there was a creator, or that, that there is a creator, and that there was a Messiah, is definitely something that each and every one of these religions do speak on. Now, the name may change, but it doesn't
Same meaning, though.
necessarily say that. Yeah, it doesn't mean that it's a different entity or overall. It just means that, hey, this is what the likeness of. Not saying that we like for this person to be of our likeness. All of everybody, every race would. But-
I definitely believe there was a higher being, but at the same time, some of the stuff I've seen and researched and looked at, sometimes I also think that, yeah, there's a higher being, but not in the way that people think about of a higher being. I believe that we were a failed experiment. All honesty,
Hell yeah.
I definitely feel like we're a failed experiment, just because with how they do DNA shit these days, to make it more solid, is there's no way our DNA should be older than the Earth unless we were
No.
implanted here, and our DNA tracks that it's older than the planet Earth.
And honestly, now on that note, yes, because there's people who, according to certain scientists, our bodies move on the same kind of, for their terms, circadian rhythm of Mars. Basically, our light, like our bodies, our sleeping process, so on and so forth, was more in
There
tune
was
with the
life on
planet
Mars at one
Mars than it
point in
was.
time, which
Yes,
Yeah.
most people don't realize that like
was
there's
ice in it.
pyramids, there's stuff on there. It dried out, and I mean, you know, knock on wood, I wouldn't be surprised if our civilization was on Mars at one point, and shit just went
We
left and
fucked up Mars.
sideways and fucked it up, and it's like, yeah, there's a planet right there.
Like,
Let's hop to it. And that could have been what happened. They could have just hopped planets, and then they said, all
You said
right,
what, Tosh?
Was I the only one that heard his mic going in and out just now?
yeah,
Probably.
probably.
Yours went a little choppy as well. But no, yeah, absolutely right. The hell, I think that it legit was a war type shit that could have taken place, and we fucked that planet over as well.
And you know what's funny? That rover that's supposed to be on Mars, you know how it was like a big thing, and they're like giving updates of what's going on Mars. Have you not noticed, like in the past, like
Ain't
few
been no
months,
updates.
it'd been no updates after they said they found some life signs of life on Mars and found some statues and pyramid symbols and all this other stuff, like actual structures. Radio silence about it, and then like the next thing I've heard is now there's a 7-mile asteroid or whatever ship that's coming towards Earth with hostile intent, and that's always goes. How do you know it's coming with hostile intent unless you did something to fuck somebody up and piss them off? You wake up one morning and it's like
also
alert!
the shit that they thought was space debris, but it turned out to be a satellite. The I forgot the name of it. Black something. It's Black Knight, I think, or something like that. It's legit big ass satellite that they have no control over, that's just spinning around the Earth.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised to hear that shit. And if there really is this fucking warship coming here, I'm gonna keep it real with you. I think it could be the Anunnaki coming back. Like, hey, we left all these black people here. That's a joke I got from a comedian. I ain't gonna front. I still left from a comedian. But no, I think that shit is real. Because this no way,
Literally
shape,
specify
or form.
one
Yeah, listen,
like ethnicity.
I mean,
we left all these black people there.
from all the
Yeah,
research
I'ma keep
I've
it real with
read,
you.
so
The reason why I said, hold on, my bad, Zone, my bad. Let me finish this. The reason why I said that is because even the scientists know we're the only motherfuckers who don't have this Neanderthal DNA that a lot of white people have, and most other people, we don't have that makeup a part of our DNA. They do. They
yeah,
have that
there's that talk
a
about
monkey DNA and shit like that. That's not us.
that they
monkeys
have
got that
their
thick
skin is a
straight
genetic
hair.
mutation, that they weren't supposed to be
Yeah.
that color, that it was a genetic mutation and a certain group of people that made them white, and in reality that wasn't supposed to be the color they were supposed to be. They were supposed to be like everybody else. It just didn't happen. How true it is, I don't know, because again, I haven't did tons of
That's
research on it,
also
but that is out there
Anunnaki
though.
shit as well.
So I
That is
mean,
also Anunnaki shit where the people are supposed to have been made in the image of quote unquote their creator. That's where that shit also comes into play as well too. There's some say like, oh, the people who have more reddish, ruddy skin and whatnot weren't even supposed to have that particular color stone. It was supposed to be more of a greenish hue, but then something about the oxygen and shit in this neighborhood is crazy. And on this planet kind of fucked up the skin tone and made them rusty or ruddy colored instead. Then they have I've heard some other shit about Caucasians being made to look more like like the person who made them, so that way it's more like a genetic tag instead of it being I'm this color. No, you have a genetic tag like cattle.
it makes you think about some of those movies that they make though, with space stuff and how they get in certain details about things. You sit there like, ah man, Are they trying to tell us something with some of these movies, or is it just complete fiction?
course.
And some of the stuff you would probably sit there and wonder, like, yo, this legit could possibly be like real. You probably like, this could be real, or they trying to tell like the whole alien thing where they talk about like, you know, the face hugger. That shit could all be real. All that shit could be real. All those aliens could be real. That just because you don't see it does not mean it's not there. I mean, there space. I mean, there are talks. Like, you have those flat earthers out there. They'd be like, "Yo, the planet's flat." But regardless of what you say, it's flat because they have maps. If they have maps that quote unquote, you know, like it says this or missing this part of land. But then they also try to use logic with the maps because they say, okay, if the world is round like they say, right? The world is round like everybody says. When you're looking distance down or you're throwing something, it should be some type of change in curvature because how the world is. Not to mention, when you're taking a flight, if you're looking at a map when you're taking a flight and you look at the directions that they take, sometimes they take directions that you're like, why are you taking that direction when this route would have been the most logical route to take, but yet you're doing this route like you would if the earth was flat. Which it makes sense. And then lately, which is I think is the thing that's really been shaking people, or I don't know who's been on planes lately, but a lot of planes are going above the clouds and like into like the part where they almost look like they're in fucking space, and people are like, yo, since when did we start going super high up that we're above the clouds and look almost like we're in the space atmosphere? Like,
That's
You know,
that video. That's
all the airplanes come from the airport by my house, and I was noticing that last week. Why were they like flying literally in a cloud where it disappeared?
mhm.
And I was like, what the hell?
And most people
Yeah, I
don't
seen-
most people don't know, like, it's like, oh, when people make those jokes about like the clouds falling, you better pray the clouds never fall out the fucking sky, because if the clouds fall out the sky, we are all dead. Because the clouds weigh tons of fucking weight, and people are like, you fly through them and whatnot, but if a cloud was to fall on you, you'd be squished. You'd be no more you. The clouds are that heavy
you see
and dense.
Cloudburst?
I've never seen a cloud
Have
burst
you seen
before.
Cloudburst?
No.
Yo, legitimate, complete out of nowhere, just straight downpour. I mean, hard drops of water. Not no. Okay, well, it's just rain sprinkle. No, the motherfucking water falling from the sky,
Yeah.
hitting shit, crashing down hard as hell. You can look up cloudburst and see how that shit looks. It is fucking terrifying.
There is just a lot of things. There's a lot of things that just don't make sense sometimes, and we're definitely going to be start digging into them more. I actually kind of like this conspiracy theory session we did. That we're gonna have to start doing this more, bro.
the new conspiracy theories.
The way my mind works, like
Flat Earth
I'm
people
all
still
for it.
do
I can
so.
entertain a conspiracy theory conversation. I can play devil's advocate on both sides. So the way my mind works, yeah, I can do it. I might make everybody like, what the fuck, he's crazy. No, but if you think about it, it's just a conversation. And I mean, conversations can lead anywhere, but it just gives you something to think about. Like, I mean, things aren't probably how you perceive them. Like, I don't like the English language. Like, for being severely dyslexic and looking at like other languages and trying to learn them, and then coming back to the English language and looking at it, to me, honestly, as a severely dyslexic person, the English language is the most stupidest language to me when it comes to like writing and grammar and stuff like that, and how
For
things
me
are
too,
done.
'cause I
It-
have that too. So it
doesn't-
definitely is a check.
Yeah, it doesn't add up to me, and I always question certain things when it comes to the language barrier on when it comes to words. So, like I was saying earlier, when I talked to a philosophy teacher and we're talking about psychology shit and whatnot, and we're saying like, you know, I find it very hard to believe certain things. It's not like I won't ever believe it. It just will take me a little bit of time to try to see that point of view on certain things, because like if you look into the sky, right? You look outside, most people see 3 spectrums of color, right? But women see a 4th spectrum of color. They see a slight hint of pink. in the sky that we don't see. Most people don't realize that. Women see an additional spectrum of color when they look up in the sky, which means their eyes perceive things differently than what we do. So if you see a rainbow, there's a possibility that someone else might not see that rainbow, or they might see it differently. But even going further than that, when I was having this conversation and we're talking about language, I'm like, who made up the language English, or just things in general? Like, who looked at an apple and said, this is an apple, this is an orange, this color here is blue? What if that color is actually red? Like, who dictated all that shit? It's just they woke up, or cat here and it's like, hey, this is the language, this is what we're gonna say. No, who determined everything was gonna be what it was? Like,
I literally looked it up.
who determined that shit? Like, who's like, this is the English language, this color's gonna be this is gonna be that? Like, who did all that? And then everybody said, oh yeah, we're just gonna agree with it. Like, what if like years from now or whatever, someone comes down and is like, you guys have been like doing shit all wrong. Like, the sky's not really blue. It's orange. Like, y'all are all looking at shit all the wrong way. Like, I think that would just throw people off.
I'd be a mad son bitch. You mean to tell me all my life, this shit has been a different color than what I've been actually seeing? Fuck you. I don't know. No.
But it's even
You're
like how we
lying.
splice
You're
words together in America as a, was it vineyard, right? Vineyard, 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 right?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Now you, now you,
yeah.
I'm dyslexic. Shut up. But you space it out, right? You space out. You say vine, yard, but for some reason, when you put them together, the whole word completely just changes. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Or how a K is silent in front of the letter N for night. How's a K silent? Like, what the fuck? Or
decided to put an unnecessary letter there.
yeah, unnecessary letter that's not even heard. Well, then why is it fucking there? Why is that letter there? It's unnecessary.
I want to
An arm, or you talking about the night at night?
Night, like a night,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah,
No, that's the reason it's there to differentiate.
nah, but that's
But
cool.
that
though.
doesn't make any sense
That
though.
doesn't make sense for knife.
It
For
doesn't
certain
make
words, that shit just
yeah.
don't add up.
No, for certain words it's not needed, but I'm just saying there are.
but
certain
it's not
ones that
needed, but
make
yet
it
it's still there. Why is it more complicated than it needs to be? Is my thing. They made the English language complicated for no reason. Even people who learn other languages, they'll say the English language makes no sense. Now, mind you, other languages have other letters, more letters in their alphabet and all this other crazy shit, right? But to them, even them looking from the outside with no neurological things messed up, to them, the English language is the dumbest language when it comes to like spelling certain things and how things are used. It doesn't make any sense. It's not logical. But yet society dictates it is, so everybody just flows with it. But if you really sit down, you look at certain words and you really think about it, it's like, that doesn't make sense. It shouldn't be used that way. Or why some words have like 5 different meanings in the English language. The same word spelled the same way, but it means 5 different things. What? Why? That makes no sense. Absolutely no sense.
I make it.
Like in other languages, the same word, they don't use the exact same word for everything else. It's literally a different word or slightly spelled different. In America, you can use the same word to mean 5 different things. And you have to know the person you're talking to make sure that word is adding up the right way.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
Welcome to planet Earth.
Okay, Captain Ginyu.
Dude. Nah, there's definitely a lot of weird shit that should have definitely been oh, what the hell?
oh,
That's weird. What the fuck?
but we digress. This was a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was definitely a good fun show.
He
I'm
talked too
glad
much.
my aunt came
Drop
out,
his
Lady
drop.
T.
Very cool. Wow.
That exhale, we're not gonna let that face.
Nah, because I could go on for hours talking about this stuff, but in reality, I mean, I'm not gonna drag the podcast out for like 5 hours. We've been recording for like already 2. So.
Yeah. We had a good time today.
Yeah.
He sound like he just saw somebody wrote a letter. He saw all these words. He just threw that joint on the table with frustration.
Oh, no, if someone writes me a mad long email, I look at it for like 3 days before I read it. Like I'm not reading that shit. I tell anybody, if you write me an email and it's like a quick message, like, oh, I'm gonna send you a quick message, and it's like it looks like 5 paragraphs, I'm gonna leave you on red for like 3 days, because it's gonna take me 3 days to figure out if I really want to read this bullshit. I'm gonna look at it and be like, do I want to read this? Do I want to strain my brain to read this bullshit? Because that's what's gonna be. It's gonna be bullshit.
Zone was definitely the K response, motherfucker. Whenever he got a message from a woman he was tired of her, and they hit you with the K.
Oh, no, I mean, yeah, I might do that, but I would eventually message back. Like, I definitely would message back, but you're not getting a response from me like you would. Like, I would talk to you, but I'm not about to type out. Like, even like when I'm typing sometimes on my phone, like texting, and someone's trying to like have a full conversation, and I start texting, I'm like, yo, this is too long to text this out. I'll wait till we talk in person. Yeah. I was like, oh, I can't do that. Well, then I guess you don't want to talk to me then. If you don't want to talk on the phone or in person, I'm not about to fucking reply back via text as long as shit.
JP made females bad enough to send paragraphs, and he need more red.
Mr. Entertainer. But I want to thank Lady T for coming out. As always, I will post her social handles where you guys can follow her and like her. She's doing great on YouTube. If you guys don't know, she has over 1K followers and subscribers. So she's definitely doing her thing. She's definitely making a difference in people's life and showing them the DIYs.
Thank you guys for having me. Yeah, I really, really appreciate it. So
I hope we can get her back on in the future.
Yeah, definitely, I will.
So we will cut out here.
You know, like I'm into the conspiracy thing too, so don't leave me out of those. I love it.
Oh, snap.
If we ever have a good conspiracy theory one up, I'll send you a message and see if you want to swing in and give some 2 cents on it. Like I said, our podcast, when we're in this little channel on my little Discord, and it's always open. If people want to come in and tune into the conversation, have some fun, and you can always catch it live on the stream and type in, like my father seemed to do quite a bit, or you can join the Discord and actively participate with your voice. Okay. You know, I keep it pretty chillax. I don't edit much. Actually, I don't edit anything. I have them keep it real. I keep it super raw and fun. So that's how we always do it. So yeah. On that note, this your boy. Signing out. What'd you say, Aunt?
I said definitely appreciate you.
No problem. Until next time.
For sure.
Yes, thanks for stopping by. And like I said, you guys check out the audio. Click the links that was going to be posted with this podcast episode, so you can find her and maybe place an order for a cake. Like she said, she is doing her thing, and she has no problem getting a cake to you guys if you have an order. She does specialty cakes. But you'll have to get with her prices, because she does that, not me. But salutations. We will be back next Sunday with another podcast, and we'll see how that goes. Until then,
peace, niggas.
All right, good night, y'all.
Good night.
That is
hey, man.
Wait, who's Lady T? I'm trying to remember who that is, actually.
This is on.